Hi, Aries. Welcome to the Modern Spiritualist. My name is Raheem. Happy birthday, y'all. Okay, so we're gonna look at May for you. You can use this for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or North Node, or any other Aries placement that you care about in your chart. Celtic Cross spread using the Thoth deck, plus a Catalyst energy from the Threads of Fate Oracle. So we'll just get right into this. So your Catalyst energy is the energy that basically is going to set the presence or the container for being in the highest vibration possible this month, so that you can use these cards to your advantage. So if you get lost in process during the month, or you spiral, or you get confused, you can always rely on the Catalyst energy to remind you what you're doing this month. So we have Manifest reversed. And yeah, this is a really good month to get clear on your vision, Aries. You don't have to make any huge moves yet, although you can if you want to. I'm basically getting like the semi-green light or the yellow light. Go slow, make sure that what you're doing is what you really want to do. Otherwise, what Spirit doesn't want you to end up doing is going too far down one path to then kind of realize later that you have to backtrack and adjust in a way that will waste time. So in order to actually maximize the efficiency this month, what I'm sensing is don't take a lot of action yet unless you're really, really, really sure. Just really make sure to understand this month uniquely what you're going for, what you really want to manifest, what your vision in an ideal world would be, so that as you start taking action steps towards it, you're actually going down the path that's going to lead you to that end result, rather than something kind of like half-assed or not fully formed or not what you really want. And so all this is saying is go slow. Go slow, make sure that you really know what you want. Come back to the drawing board as much as you need to. You can't do that too much this month. You can't refine or revise or adjust or change your desires this month. What you can do is take too much action, and so that is kind of just the caveat. And the only reason that's coming up is because I know you're Aries, I know you're action oriented, I know you want to go, and that's fine and great and not a problem. But the little bit that you can put towards, all that fiery energy that you can put towards just maximizing the clarity of what you really want is just the best way to use this. But I'm not, feeling a lot of, it feels very intellectual, it feels very, pragmatic. I'm not feeling a lot of, like emotional gunk or things that need to be cleared out. You're not blocked. This is just, what do you want? That's all that this is saying. So, cool. Seems like a pretty straightforward month. Let's go into the Celtic Cross. So at the center of this month, we have the Princess of Cups. This would be the Page of Cups in a regular deck. Spirit just really wants to make sure that whatever your vision is, whatever you're clarifying this month, it's really in line with what you do actually want. So no compromises. This isn't about what you think you can do versus what you can't. This is about what you're truly, truly connected to in your heart and soul, what you're really passionate about. And if you choose to go in that direction, basically what I'm getting is that you'll face challenges, but you'll have a little bit of luck. And because you want it so badly, the thing that you're going for, because you really, truly in your heart and soul want it so badly, that Spirit's going to find a way. Spirit's going to find a way, you're going to find a way, and that this is going to happen. It's just going to be a long road, depending on what it is that you want and how complicated it is, or, how close you already are in terms of, moving towards this on your path. Are you clarifying what you really want and it's very close to what you're already going for, or is it very different, So it'll kind of depend on you. But I'm just getting a pull to patience, like make sure that you know that you're kind of in this for the long haul. And there are going to be times when you can be quite busy and get a lot done, and there may be times where you need to adjust again or slow down or wait. And so just be aware of what you're in for. This is kind of like you taking the first steps towards whatever adjustment towards the desire that you're making this month. So, and I'm also getting the sense that, this is a really good month to talk to others, to kind of look for collaborators, maybe, depending on what you're doing, to, if a job offer comes through, maybe it's the one. Page of Cups can sometimes be an offer, so this could be an offer of job. It could be an offer of love. I'm not getting a hard hit on that. it could definitely be taking a relationship, like a romantic relationship, to the next level, but this really does feel like it's career oriented, and it's going towards something career wise or project wise that you really want. So be aware of opportunities or go look for them. That's fine. I think if you're going to take action, that's the one to go for, because it kind of keeps things in the conversational realm, and that's going to support you this month. Okay. Crossing that energy of the Three of Swords. For some of you, this may be about needing to reorganize your time. And this may be kind of where love or relationships, apart from like career or soul purpose related, may come in, because you may just have to draw new boundaries around the time that you're spending with others so that you can really commit to whatever it is that you're kind of hashing out or trying to manifest here. It feels like some of you may be leaving a romantic relationship. If that's true for you, you're already thinking about it and you're the one doing it. So this is not like me surprising somebody out of the blue, but it's like if you're already deciding that you may want to walk away from a relationship, it looks like the decision may be made, and it may be made because that person maybe doesn't have good boundaries or doesn't share your vision, and it just like, it feels like it's just not working anymore. So that may be in the cards for some of you. And of course, yeah, there will be the pain of breaking up there, but I feel like if this pertains to you, you've kind of already made the decision. It's more about taking action on it, deciding if that's really the route you want to go down, and then kind of playing damage control. So and you have what it takes to deal with it because you're the one making the decision. What else? This could be related to, again, what you're trying to manifest. Maybe it didn't work out in the past. That's not really what I'm getting. What I'm getting is disappointment or frustration that it's not happening fast enough. And I think that may be sending some of you into a spiral about, is it ever going to happen? And kind of feeling like your dreams are being crushed or that this is never going to work. This also could be related to really far back, like when you were a kid or something, and you had your dream or vision, and you would, tell your parents or your teachers or your peers about what you wanted to do, and somewhere down the line, that dream was snuffed out or crushed for you by somebody else saying it wasn't going to work or it wasn't practical enough, or basically that you're in fantasy land. So I think for some of you, this may be about confronting who in you is that, stuck or lost child who feels like their dreams are being snuffed out. You may just have to have a conversation with that part of you so that you can come into a greater wholeness and recommit to what it is that you really want. So this could be return in some way, like a return to a dream that you'd kind of let go of, that you want to bring back into the equation with the skills and tools you have now. Okay. Past affecting the present, we have the Five of Swords, and a pull to the Three of Swords. So it seems like most commonly, for most of you, this is about somebody in you who's very, very afraid to move forward because they're afraid it's not going to work out, because that's what they've been told somewhere down the line. Because this is, about, being in childhood and kind of really being connected to your dream, and just kind of slowly over time, all the naysaying, all the ways that people said, no, you can't do this, just kind of slowly eating away at you until it takes enough control that it derails your plans. And this is, way in the past, so this is like childhood. And so you may just need to pay attention to the thoughts in your head or the stories that are generated around what you're trying to manifest, because it looks like there may just be a lot of like negative self-talk going on that isn't authentic to you. It's just voices over time that have kind of solidified in your mind that you may have to address and move beyond. Okay. We already did that. Grounding you this month in your foundation, we have the Magus. So you are ready to go. This in the upright means that you are ready to manifest. You're completely clear. There's no blocks. And it is time for you to get clear on your vision and commit to it. And this is about the real vision. This is about, the heart and soul vision, the thing that you really want. You've probably always wanted on some level or felt connected to this on some level. So, this is saying the time is now. And this being in your foundational energy, it basically means that this is what's supporting you this month. So your dreams and visions are supporting you. Let them inspire you. Let them help you imagine beyond what you think is possible right now. And just be open. Just be open to receiving the opportunities that come in, the breadcrumbs, or the, the green lights from spirit that kind of show up all around us in our world. So, take advantage of what comes in. Like I said, you don't need to take a lot of action this month, but you don't need to sit quietly either. And so I think the best way to kind of navigate that balance is to take action when the opportunity strikes, and you feel that sense of, okay, now is the time to act, right? But you just don't have to do this all at once, especially if you're not 100% sure of the details of it yet, okay? Crowning you this month, because this could also just be you thinking, you brainstorming, thinking about what you want. It doesn't have to be you doing things. It could just be you being in touch with it, with that dream, okay? Okay, crowning you. The Emperor, this is your energy, Aries, so you are bang on. Whatever this energy is, whatever you're trying to manifest and make happen in your life, this is confirming that it is completely in line with your heart and soul. And so if you're second guessing yourself, don't. You absolutely are correct about this dream that you have. Because this is what you're thinking about. And this, the Emperor being in this spot basically means that what you're thinking about is what is going to make you happy. What is going to be the best utilization of your talents and skills and qualities that you bring to the table. Obviously this could be about stepping into leadership or refining leadership or choosing to be a leader in some capacity. But this feels very self-directed. Like, it may not be about leading others more than it is about just really being in your own energy this month. It feels like it's not like you're isolated, but it feels like a pretty self-focused month, which I like for you coming out of Aries season. It's kind of like, okay, you just had your birthday. How are we going to, how are we going to utilize this year, based on who you are now? So totally makes sense to me. New circumstance, we have the Knight of Wands. In a classic deck, this would be the King of Wands. In Crowley's deck, it's a little bit more dynamic. And so this is you springing into action, but it's a King of Wands style action, which again is about being the director. We have the Emperor here, right? So being the director, being the leader, being the visionary, and choosing what is going to happen next based off of the plan that you make. So this is about you've got the actors of the film, and you've got the writer, and you've got the director, and basically you're the writer and director of whatever comes next. So in terms of taking action, it's really, I think, a more cerebral or like mental kind of action, or a pragmatic kind of action, getting your ducks in a row, preparatory stuff. But what I also like about this is the passion. This is divinely inspired passion. So whatever you're doing, you're really excited, and let that serve you. Just don't let the excitement rush you. That's all. That's the only hang up there. Your energy this month, we have the Lust card. In a classic deck, this is the Strength card. I prefer the Lust card because I feel like it really brings in kind of the almost like the fire and the fury, the like passionate hellfire of strength, of having such a strength of vision, such a clarity of vision that nothing can stop you because your eye is on the prize, right? And that's kind of what I'm getting from this. And so instead of finding it like a classic strength deck where it's like things may be hard and you need to find it within yourself to continue, sometimes you get that kind of narrative. This is not about that. This is like you have all the strength in the world. You kind of naturally, you're so passionate about what's going on that you're burning away anything that could stop you, kind of like with the snap of your fingers. And so this is like really owning that strength and not having any doubt about it at all. And this is where you're at. Like, nothing can stop you. These negative narratives aren't going to stop you. The feeling of your dreams being snuffed out in the past, it's not going to stop you, because you're stepping up into the Magus energy, you're stepping up into the Emperor. These are kind of reflecting each other, and they're really, really massive energies in terms of individuation and self-direction and authority and trusting your abilities. And so we have all of that, and we have the Lust card, which is saying, yeah, I mean, you're so passionate about this that nothing can stop you. So yeah, again, all I'm getting is just restrain yourself a little. Can you sit with the excitement? Can you sit with the anticipation? Can you allow that to build and basically accumulate the energy needed to kind of really spring into action later? Because the more energy you have to utilize, the better, and you don't want to burn yourself out too early, and then the the vision that you're coming up with or the plan that you're coming up with kind of fizzling out halfway through because you've run out of juice. Okay, so Spirit kind of really wants you to build the energy and stay excited and to be able to just sit with that. That's kind of the, I think, biggest task that I'm sensing into this month. In your environment, we have the Nine of Wands reversed. I like this better in the reverse. Because I'm feeling the environment actually being very settled. So what's happening in your environment seems to be you have enough space, maybe from others, maybe from work, or whatever. You have the time and kind of like the peace and quiet and solitude to really focus on what you want, so that you're peeling back the layers that may not be ideal. And what I mean by that is, like, this always happens with brainstorming, right? Because it's brainstorming, is you throw all the ideas on paper or whatever, right? And you don't necessarily keep all of them. It's like writing a rough draft. If you're a writer, I am, so I'm going to use this metaphor. If you're writing a rough draft, usually the final is shorter because you're getting all of your ideas on paper for that first draft. And then when you go in to edit and refine, you kind of eliminate what isn't necessary. And so that's what I'm feeling is the opportunity here, is you have the time and the space and the quiet, it seems, in your environment to take this vision that you're creating, take it through a few layers, take it through a few rounds, throw everything to the wall at first and then kind of refine from there. And it's going to take some, processing. This is going to come in stages. And so this is saying you have the opportunity in your environment to do that necessary vision work to really refine and crystallize exactly what you want. For some of you, I'm feeling like it may just, like, if you don't use this energy the way it's intended, you may just end up feeling very almost kind of stuck or trapped or limited or restrained in your environment in some capacity. Like you don't have enough free reign, you don't have enough ability to take action. It's like maybe you're waiting on something is just making you feel a little bit impatient. So if you feel that way, come back to the catalyst energy. Remember that you're here to get clear on your vision and then focus on that and take advantage of the quiet or the lull in activity rather than treating this as a negative, okay? Hopes and fears this month, we have the Queen of Cups, one of my favorite cards. These are like my two favorite cards, so I'm happy with this spread. So the emotional energies that are getting in your way a bit this month, the Five of Swords, the negative self-talk, the Three of Swords, the grief of, not being able to live your dreams sooner. They're active this month. Like, while you have stuff to do, you're also going to have some quiet time, and that, serves to give you a space to clear the rest of your blocks, to clear the rest of the things that are in the way of your manifestation. Like I said, you're not blocked, but sometimes it's just like certain things or certain angles that you can't fully actualize because of, a limiting belief in the way or something. And so this Queen of Cups opportunity is saying, use the extra time to go inside yourself and see what's there and really address kind of the emotional energies of this. Because the thing about the swords, right, is the swords represent thoughts. And, emotion occurs in the body first, then it kind of goes up the spine into the brain stem, into the brain, and now the brain is generating story, right? And so I feel like what's happening is you're really aware of the stories that are being generated, the negative self-talk, right? You may not be getting to the emotional energy at its source. You're paying a lot of attention to the content and not the experience that you're feeling in your body. And so the Queen of Cups is saying, if you can do that, if you can really drop into your body and feel your emotions on the sensation level, and really find out what's there, what's the root, what's the true source of of all these stories that are being generated, what's the real pain there, then you'll be able to meet the need of those unmet emotions and release them. By releasing them, you'll unblock yourself even more, and you'll have even more energy to give to this vision you're creating. This being in your fear position also just means that you're a little afraid to go there. And I understand. I mean, that's just a collective pattern that we have. We're just really uncomfortable with our emotions culturally. And even those of us that are more in tune, it's still a struggle because of, what we've had to overcome in our culture in terms of emotional repression. So, I understand the fear there, of really cutting to the quick of what is not serving you. But if you do, if you're able to drop in, face your fear, the anticipation is always the worst part, because once you actually get to the source, usually it's easy to release. So just remind yourself that the fear is totally anticipatory. Once you get to the emotion, it basically means that you're, almost already past it. And yeah, meet the needs of that wounded child. What did they need at that time that they did not receive, and why did that snuff out the dream? And this being in the upright means that you totally have what it takes, especially with this lust card here. You totally have what it takes to heal that story this month. So I recommend that you take some time, you take advantage of the lull, and you go in and do that. Okay. Outcome this month, we have the Princess of Discs. This would be the Page of Pentacles in a classic deck. So right towards the end of the month, you are taking the first action steps towards what you want. So it's going to move fast. I feel like the impatience may come in, and it's going to be worse than the reality. It's kind of like, that's the nature of impatience, and I know because I'm a very impatient person, South Node in Aries. So if I'm expecting something, waiting on something, need something to happen, need to take the next step, because I'm super action-oriented too, I totally get it, then it always, like, the time that I spend kind of waiting and obsessing over, what's going to come next, and needing it to come now, and all that good stuff. Usually time stretches out, right? So it's like if you spend all day waiting on something instead of just focusing on something else, then that day takes so long to get through. Like that day lasts forever, right? And then sometimes you still have to wait. And so, yeah, I would just say, if you feel the impatience come up, maybe it's a good time to go in and see what's there and why you're feeling so impatient. There may be, emotions underneath that. There probably is. And, then refocus on the task at hand, which is really just clarifying what you really want. And you'll probably discover through healing this energy even more. You'll discover what you really want. But what I'm being told about this Princess of Discs at the end of the month is that it's really not going to take as long as you think. If you just spend the time doing what you're being guided to do, it's going to pass by in no time, and by the end of the month, you are taking those first action steps. So the more you're able to focus on the vision this month, the faster things will go, and the more quickly you'll get into a space where you can start taking action again. Because you're taking those first steps. By the end of the month, I am feeling a pull to the Princess of Cups, so it looks like the opportunities that come in this month, maybe you have to wait for them to come to fruition. Like maybe somebody offers you a job, for instance, in the first week of April, and you don't discover the next steps of getting that job or stepping into that new role until like the last week of April, right? And so you have to wait all that time, and time will vary. It's going to be unique to you. These aren't time cards, which means the timing is dependent on the free will of the people involved, not something else. And so time's going to fluctuate, but by the end of the month, you will be taking the initial action steps. So you will be rewarded at the end of the month in that sense. Okay, that's all I have for you. It looks like a great month. Love it. Love it. Comment, let me know. Leave a comment and tell me what you are doing. What's the vision? What are you going for? Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see the next video. And I will see you, Aries, in June. Have a good month.